it sucks right now for the people I work with. Man, it just sucks right now. There's nothing I can say, because I'm worried about all the people I work with. Man, I'm 60. I just turned 61. I got enough money. If I don't even look at it as getting fired, Frank. I said, damn, I get to play more golf. I mean, I'm like, because like people like, what am I thinking right now? I'm like, please hurry and get this Western Conference Finals over, because I can play golf every day for the next 4 months, and I love it, man. I play golf every single day, or I go fishing. I love doing nothing. So, but I really feel bad, man, because we're probably gonna lose 200 people gonna lose their job at Turner if we lose to NBA.
If it is over, would you guys be open to carrying the show on a different network?
Well, I don't think Ernie would leave. Well, B, I don't want to give you any lie to you. First of all, I know Ernie would not go anywhere else. Ernie's almost 70 years old. I think he's going to retire sooner than later. I don't think he would go to another network. And I don't know what's going to happen with Amazon, ESPN, or if we lose it to NBC. So I'm not sure how to answer that question, honestly. I just don't know. Ernie would not go to another network. I'm damn sure about that. But I would listen. I would listen before I made any decisions.
What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got to talk more about this Inside the NBA on TNT thing, as Charles Barkley has given his real thoughts about, the future of the show and where he thinks it's headed and everything. They even hinted at it in the post game last night, after game 1 of the Minnesota Timberwolves Dallas Mavericks, where they were talking about, one more year on the contract, and they were laughing about it. But it's a serious matter. You got the number one show on that network that is, just won like an award or whatever. And so the show is still highly successful, but you know how business deals go, it's intertwined with the NBA. So if TNT loses the NBA, there will be no reason for that show to be on. And so you have people saying, why don't you just, Chuck's got a production company, why don't you move it, we'll sign Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie to that, and then you do it for another network. Thing is, Ernie's tied up in NBC right now. He doesn't just cover basketball. You see him on golf and different things like that. So he's gonna retire there. He's putting in so much time there. It wouldn't make sense for him to leave. Now Shaq and Kenny are a little more free, but again, you look at Ernie Johnson, and some people may underplay his value, but if you put somebody else on that show, it's gonna be hard to replace Ernie, as he was the first one that was there. But looking into the future, man, I think inside the NBA, those guys, I don't know how they saved the show at this point, because they're taking the money that they were paying for the NBA rights, and they're buying, I believe, college football. They're buying some college football playoff games. And so, because that's going to expand to 12 this year. The field's going to expand to 12. So you got that going on. And so they just kind of letting the NBA go, which is crazy to me. But all signs are saying that the deal is pretty much done. Chuck talked about it the other day. I played that in the beginning, what he said the other day. But now we're going to listen to what he said on the Dan Patrick Show. Let's peep it.
I was wondering about this. I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but you and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie, how about just form a production company and continue to do the Inside the NBA, hire the personnel, keep the personnel there, continue to do it in Atlanta, and then you're able to sell that to NBC or Amazon and say, here, you already got the best studio show ready to go, keep everybody in place, but you guys own your own production company.
Well, I've talked to the guys about everybody signing with my production company, because I have my own production company, and I would love to do that if we lose it. But I have definitely actually somebody suggested that to me, to be honest with you, on the internet. So why don't Charles Barkley sign these 4 guys total his production company and sell it. I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But like I say, we're just sitting back waiting on these people to figure out what they're gonna do. My two favorite wines are Nook and Opus. And these clowns I work for, they've turned us into Ripple and Boonesfarm and Thunderbird. Like, we got the best studio show. And it's so funny, we just won the best studio show, but these fools turned us from Nook and Opus into damn Boonesfarm and Ripple. It's crazy.
You're actually angry.
I am. Dan, it's so interesting. I've been spending a lot of time with the crew lately. They've been with these guys where I spent time with they bring their newborns in, they bring their kids in, they'd come in like when they were in high school, and now they're graduating for college. I mean, that's how long, Ernie's been there 32 years, Kenny's been there 27, I've been there 24, but think about that. Some of these people I work with, they brought their newborns in to say hello to us. They brought them in high school when they graduated, and now they've already graduated from college. So, yeah, I'm angry. People they're like, they're part of my family, to be honest with you. So, and I feel bad for those guys.
Yeah, but how did you guys screw it up? How did TNT mess this up?
Well, I think the first thing is, they came out and said we didn't need the NBA. So I think that probably pissed Adam off. I don't know that, but I'm saying, like, because, when we merged, that's the first thing our boss said, we don't need the NBA. Well, he don't need it, but the rest of the people, me, Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie, and the people who work there, we need it. So it just sucks right now. And, the thing that's interesting, me, Kenny, and Ernie talk about it, and Shaq all the time, like, people walk up to me, I'm not even joking, 20 times a day. I'm like, dude, thank you for the kind words, but I have zero idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, you can't go anywhere. And then what's really frustrating, we all are getting sent like 5-7 articles a day about we've already lost it, or we on life support. TNT's trying a fourth quarter comeback. And I don't know, Bill Simmons, who I'm a big Bill Simmons fan, they're sending us articles like they've already lost it. It's over with. I was listening to Mad Dog Russo the other day. He's like, oh, the deal's over with. It's already going to NBC. So I don't know what to believe. So it sucks for the people, for all of us.
So we get Charles Barkley real feelings, and he's saying a lot of things that people are thinking, really upset with the bosses. Look like they're getting out the basketball business and going into the college football business and maybe even some other sports, but I think that's a bad mistake when you have a show like Inside the NBA. What are you going to fill that time slot with? Are you just going to throw Westerns or movies on at that time? I don't know what they're going to try to fill that time slot with, but people are used to seeing it's a bigger staple of their network than they realize, that show. And so just to let it go and let NBC have it without doing all you can to keep it, I think is I think it's irresponsible. You've built that for years and years and years, and you've become a go-to network for NBA games. I think they're making a big mistake here, because I think Shaq, Chuck, and Kenny, those guys maybe could go somewhere else and do something really successful. It's going to be interesting to see, like, who tries to come in and sell these guys on another opportunity. Well, I don't know Shaq and Kenny's contract, but Chuck said in his contract, he made sure that if they lost the NBA, he could get out of it. And I could imagine Shaq, being a businessman he is, probably did the same thing, and maybe even Kenny too, because you don't want to be stuck over there with nothing to cover, and you can't go get another job somewhere else. Maybe they could do some type of thing for NBC. Again, they have late night television that comes on, so I'm wondering, like, if they did get the NBA over there on NBC, because a big part of Inside the NBA is it starts around 7:38. They're able to kind of discuss some topics and really go off script a little bit, because by the time the night's over, the kids is in bed, and that's a part of their show, right? But looking at it now, like NBC, would it be more prime time if they were to do something like that? Chuck's got a production company. Does TNT even own the name inside the NBA? Because I think people just love that name so much at this point. To even change something like the name would be messing with it a little bit. And like I said, Ernie's gonna stay with TNT. He ain't going nowhere. And so that ain't gonna happen. And I mean, I'll say this: it's good to go out on top if you got to go out. These guys are wildly successful, and so the money isn't going to be an issue for the people to see on TV, but the people behind the scenes, the camera guys and all that, they're going to be out of a job, man. And that's going to suck for them, because I'm pretty sure, I ain't saying they live in check to check, but some of them probably are, but they will probably have to find some other employment at some point. And it's a good resume builder that they did that, until it just ran out. But I just wonder what's gonna happen, man. I wonder what's gonna happen. Chuck with his production company, will he try to make some sort of show that's a spin off of that? Will they go independent? Because honestly, I think these guys can do something independent at this point. Shaq is already on YouTube with his podcast and has his sponsors. Can you imagine the advertisers that would line up just for them to go in studio? They have to get the right moderator. Obviously, Ernie ain't coming, but if you could get somebody to moderate, make it similar enough, but new enough and different enough for people to tune in, I think they could go. You see what Shannon is doing, right? Going live after the games. Can you imagine if Inside the NBA went live after playoff games on YouTube and what those numbers would look like? And I don't even think they need Ernie for that. If they just going off script like that, and they, like how Nightcap doing, they go to YouTube and they do that in that space. Are you kidding me? They might get 100,000 people on at the same time watching. So I think right now, as sad as they are, it's a time to think independently. You got 3 people, and 2, like Shaq and Chuck, they got so much money that it would be no problem to build the perfect studio, to go live after the game. And you could do that remotely, right? Like Ocho and Unc does. So I think, man, they could have 150,000 people watching at the same time sometime if they were to do that. And you're going to have TV deals thrown at you. You're going to have networks trying to acquire your content. And I think that is the move. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down.
I'm not going to take it down.
Skip. 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 Skip.